This is what the Russian world, or the Russian peace as they called it, looks like.
I am Zarina Zabrisky and I am talking to you.
This is Chernihiv Hotel, Ukraine.
I live in Chernihiv in the Masani micro-district. On March 4th at night, a Russian plane attacked a 9-story building where civilians were sleeping, destroying a big part of it. The plane was shot down the next day. It fell near my house. 2 military jumped out. They used parachutes. One did not reach the ground. The second one landed in the courtyard of a private house. My good friend, a co-worker, Vitaly Sergeyenko, lived there. Vitaly saw this pilot, grabbed a shovel, and the pilot, whose last name was Krasnoyartsev, shot him point blank. The day before this tragedy, I saw Vitaly. Vitaly is no more. This is it.
I'm in Novosolovka. This is Chernihiv Oblast. In fact, this is right next to Chernihiv, literally like 5 minutes drive, if that. And this is the area that was damaged probably the worst. The driver who's taking me around told me that the worst part were the planes, and that compared to the artillery fire, it's probably worse in terms of the damage that they can cause.
The Russian pilot who carried out aerial bombardments of the residential areas of Chernihiv and the Chernihiv region was exchanged for 5 Ukrainian pilots about 5 months ago, said the head of the main intelligence directorate of Ukraine, Kirill Budanov, on September 30th. A Russian Su-34 senior pilot, the head of airfire and tactic training of the Russian Federation, Alexander Krasnoyartsev, was fully aware that he was not attacking military targets and that he was killing civilians. Previously, Krasnoyartsev carried out the bombardments of civilians in Syria, where he was photographed with the Russian President Putin and Syrian President Bashar al-Assad in 2017. On March 5th, Krasnoyartsev piloted the Su-34 plane carrying 6 500-kilogram uncontrolled aerial bombs over Chernihiv. When the Ukrainian military downed the plane, killing the second pilot, Krasnoyartsev catapulted and landed on the roof of a private house. He then shot point blank the owner of the house, Vitaly Sergeyenko, 49, who was chasing him with a spade. Krasnoyartsev hid in a nearby barn and later surrendered to the Ukrainian soldiers. On being captured, Krasnoyartsev first denied that he knew the nature of the targets, but later admitted that he was consciously bombing a crowded city. On April 23rd, Ukrainian law enforcement agencies filed a case against Krasnoyartsev for violating the laws and customs of war and premeditated murder.
This is another site in Novosolovka where many homes were burned and burned and damaged.
У мене 3 дочки, і всіх 3 погоріли хати. І немає одної, щоб була хата. В нашому селі тут.
The number of people killed by a Russian missile in Zaporizhzhia reached 30, including 2 children. 88 were wounded. The Russian military launched a missile attack on a convoy of civilian cars at 7:30 a.m. on September 30th. Civilians were en route to the temporarily occupied territory in order to transport their relatives and belongings out to Ukraine-controlled areas. People bring flowers to the ruins of a private house in Dnipro, where a Russian missile attack killed a family, 2 children, their mother, and a grandmother, on the night of September 29th. The father, who serves in the armed forces of Ukraine, arrived at the place of the tragedy. A photo of a mourning dog, Krim, who miraculously survived, went viral. Russians are shelling the residential blocks in Mykhaylo as the cold season is approaching. On September 30th, rockets hit an apartment complex downtown.
Когда прозвучал взрыв, я вскочил, значит, и вот эта часть кровати была в крошке вся. Вот это все было у меня на лице и на голове, и, возможно, на глазах. Поэтому элементарная мысль, что хоть чуть-чуть себя подзащитить, хотя бы отодвинуться вглубь от оконного проема. И это как раз сработало, это правда.